Welcome, welcome. All right, turn down the music. There we go. Okay. I always have multiple tabs going at the same time.
Mania and Esther.
Yes, hello, good evening. It's 7 o'clock here, so doing good.
Good evening.
Oh, I had a wonderfully marvelous day at Services Ontario this morning. So, if you don't know about Canada, we have health insurance provided by the province. And to do that, you have to get your card showing that you qualify for it. And to do that, you have to go stand and wait in line for 3 hours and 45 minutes. It was great. But I did it. I got it.
Yeah, you did.
Got it renewed.
Goal checked off.
Yes.
One goal checked off.
And I don't need to do it again for 3 more years. So, hooray.
Yay!
Yay!
I left that building like, see you in 3 years, suckers.
Well, when does my driver's license expire? Because that's in the same building too.
Oh god,
The same people. Yeah.
for a second, said, now that sounds like a good time.
Oh yeah, such a good time. Such a good time. Yeah. I don't know.
Did you see Joe's comment?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, one way.
I don't know why there's a one-way sign. I don't remember. I made it forever ago.
To terror. One way to Terrorville.
You can only go forward towards your death. I don't know. Anyway,
okay, that just that was
the unending march of time forward.
I am okay. I'm good. A little tired. I'm good. Look, did I look like one way to Scary Town? Okay, this sounds better than Terrorville. Orville. Pinner of Terrorland.
Awesome.
Halloween Town is a movie, Hazelnut. We can't use that. It might be copyright protected. It's a Disney movie at that.
I think there's 3 of them.
4.
I think.
4. The fourth one, I don't know if we can really. I mean, the fourth one counts, but it's a different. They use a different girl from Marnie, which she's not bad. She's just not Marnie. I do actually, as much as I don't like Halloween, I do love that movie, that whole series. I make sure I watch it every Halloween time when it rolls around.
Nice. So, if you guys don't know, JC is awesome. And yes, this is my co-host for the evening. She's fabulous.
Aw, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, Laura, you're phenomenal. So, I mean, I don't know. There's no topping Laura. Everyone should get from Laura.
You want some poetry? JC's got some of those collections out, plus a novel, and she proofreads on Ko-fi, and she has a GoFundMe, because hard times, man, hard times.
I in struggle land.
Yeah. So,
but I try to smile.
Help out if you can.
In spite of it.
Yeah. And I am me, and you are here. I have that thing up in the corner. A book.
Tiny Shivers, yes.
Yeah.
And it's a great book. And I say that as a person who does not traditionally like horror. But I loved it. I loved that book.
Yeah. So, yeah, welcome. We are going to get some writing done. So, while I do some hellos.
45s? I'm sorry.
We're going to do a 30, a 45, and a 30. And we'll see if we do an extra, like, 25 or something.
Okay. I had to try.
So I'm currently writing a vampire romance, and one of the vampires is dealing with an ex right now. So, first question: does your main character have an ex, and how do they feel about them? So,
Which main
in the meantime,
character? The one you're currently working on? Because it could be a main character from any book. Because I have
any book,
a book. Okay.
any book that you've written.
Okay.
So, hello Maggie, hello Felicia,
Hi.
la, la. Hello Jennifer, hello Kelly, hello Alice, hello LJ, JL.
Yeah.
Hello Nicole,
Hi,
hello
Nicole.
Cool Gamer. Let's see, Persephone, hello.
Hi. Did you sway in here, Stephanie? Smexily, even.
Like a certain Kermit. Let's see. Okay. And hello, Christian.
Hello.
I was making breakfast for the movies.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Oh.
Nice. So, your MC's ex.
Okay. So not in the book I'm currently revising. Because she isn't enough drama without having to deal with X. But the one before that I did the second draft of, yes, that's her ex is the one she ends up. I can't spoil it, but yeah, there's stuff. Does your maker have an ex? She loves the ex. That's who she really loves.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. She loves the ex, and she doesn't want to admit it, but she does. And he loves her too. And we don't know if they get together, and I still have to wait till I, publish the book to read it and find out. They also have a secret child. So, like secret children.
But of course, Swiss Mexley.
What about you? Oh, yeah, I forgot you're writing one fast.
Oh, gosh. So, currently working on Crimson Strings, my vampire romance trilogy. And Victor, man, his ex is actually Satan. I didn't expect Satan to actually have feelings.
I still can't get past that.
What is happening? Oh my gosh. Even making it complicated.
Even the most evil list of villains has feelings. Just depending on what the feelings are.
Oh, gosh.
Forgot to answer in the chat.
His other ex, though, she tortured him. Like, she was horrendous.
Oh gosh, I forgot about the other one.
Yeah.
Bellatrix.
So, yeah, Bellatrix was a piece of work. Yeah, so very happy to be as far away as possible from her.
Was she worse than Satan though? Because I mean, it's Satan. You kind of think that doesn't get any worse than Satan.
Satan and her and Bellatrix, they both have political webs that they're weaving. Okay. But she was in cahoots with his dad.
Oh yeah, that's worse. That's worse.
Relaying info back and threatening to relay false info back. And she was
no.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Kelly says my MC does have an ex who he and the rest of the family hate due to the ex trying to murder the main character.
Well, that will kill a relationship.
Valid.
That will kill a relationship. Very quickly. Unless you have a toxic relationship where you get off on stuff like that. But because there are those.
Stephanie says my main character's beloved dies in the first chapter.
So is this a story about them finding love again and being able to accept love again? I don't know. What
like bring the ghost back.
Persephone, what job do you write? I don't think I've ever asked. Which shame on me, but I don't think I've ever asked, and I don't know because I'm like, if you write contemporary, I'm like, okay, is this like a finding love again? But if she writes horror, then it's probably probably not that.
Yes, and he's
it's a horror.
okay.
Oh,
It is a horror.
yes,
Okay.
yes, it is.
It goes on a rager. Okay, dokie.
Yeah, so it's probably not trying. Yeah, okay. Oh well, you're losing the love of your
John
love.
Wick.
Could do that. You know, I really need to watch the rest of those movies. I've only seen the first one.
I've seen the first two.
Yeah, I haven't even got to the second one yet.
Have I seen the third?
Isn't there a fourth one?
The first two. Yeah, the
Isn't there
fourth one came out.
Fourth? Okay. Seems I have two main characters now. Oh,
Jenna has an ex that she asked to help her current partner.
so did you pick up another main character when you were figuring out your timeline issues, or did you pick that up before the timeline issues? I'm curious, because I know yesterday you said you were having timeline issues that you needed to fix.
Maggie says, in the book coming out August 10th, the female main character's ex was fed to genosaurs by her bestie as revenge because he was an abusive jerk. The female main character doesn't know that. She thinks he just died on an island.
Ooh, nice. Also, congratulations you have for the upcoming release. Nice.
That's in 7 days? It's a week from today.
Yep. Congratulations. Are you doing a launch on your channel?
That's awesome. Let's see. So it is a horror. I typically write dark, erotic, paranormal romance, but this is full-on horror.
Nice.
Amazing.
I'm curious now.
And Kelly says, I am hard on the significant others of my characters. Prime Traumaville. The soul of a character, character is my last manuscript. Died in a fire.
Oh, the significant other. God, I just thought she left off the end and meant son. Okay. Oh, died why?
I don't know why, but it sounds like JC is super sped up. It's like your mic is like crackly and then fast.
I'm sorry. I don't know how to fix it.
Well, it sounded okay.
I'll just be silent.
No! Blasphemy. And he says, in the books I edited for Camp Edmo, the female main character's beloved is thought to be lost at sea. But really, his psycho brother's more psycho wife is holding him hostage to get his $300 million in bearer bonds. Woo!
Oh, psycho brother's even more psycho
wife.
Oh, wow. I'm very, very curious.
Let's see. It was before. Alex was the main character, and Jenna was the mysterious gone girlfriend. In the second draft, she plays a bigger role, and now the co-main character.
I love that. You know, when I did my second draft of When Love Calls, I picked up a second main character as well. I understand. It was just the one in the first draft. And I was like, oh, no. He needs to be there.
And hello, Eva. Yes. It's okay, Jason.
Does it still sound that way?
A little bit, yeah.
I don't know.
Maggie says, the editors were afraid I killed him off. But no. The female aunt believes...
Female antagonist, I think.
Okay. That's not how you spell aunt. Believes it isn't right for family to kill each other, so she won't let her husband kill her brother or hers.
I mean, well, she's kind of right. It isn't right.
Yeah. Okay. So, wrong button. The first sprint. I just hit remove instead of put it on the screen. I'm so smart. Okay.
Is this new?
No.
Oh, I need to go back into your timers. I didn't see this one.
So, the question for this one, continuing on the vein of exes, your ex is in mortal peril. What do you do?
Mine, like real life, not in the fiction. Oh,
Yeah.
you don't want to know the answer to that. Well, first we have to figure out which ex we're talking about.
Hazelnut says female main character 1 doesn't have an ex. She doesn't trust anyone with her heart. Now, female number 2, I don't know yet. Liam and
Interesting.
Frederica are trying to build their own cartel to fulfill her ambitions, and Liam will do anything to make certain that his beloved beauty gets what her father gave to her uncle instead of her.
Yeah.
Exactly. I need
So
this. We'll come back. We'll come back. But yeah, first sprint. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go.
gotta love it, Eva.
Alrighty. 'Twas the first sprint. How did everybody do? Welcome back.
Hi.
Your mic sounded normal.
It does? Okay.
It
Maybe I
does.
just needed to leave and come back.
Well, welcome back.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I opened my notebook and then I watched a YouTube video.
Mm.
I may have jotted down like one thing, but I mostly watched the video.
Nice. I got a whopping 2 paragraphs.
Nice. More than I got. So nice.
Yeah, I was
Did you do-
distracted being innocent.
Mhm. Oh no, what did you do? You did something.
Nothing. I'm completely innocent.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Who do I need to text to find out what you really did?
Nothing. Anyways, hello.
Laura Falula.
Yeah, what? Yeah. Anyways, hi.
Hi. You got distracted.
I
Being
did.
probably awesome. Probably being awesome. That's what you did. So, what did people in the chat do? I see lots of chatter going on. What did I miss? What did
This
I
was last weekend. We lost our power for about 15 minutes. After it came back on, we saw them working out back on the power lines in our yard. They replaced a pole. No idea what happened.
No.
The lines are so far down the sloped yard with the trees' foliage, we couldn't even tell they were working until after dark when their truck lights came on. Creepy. It says, I did laundry and started outlining chapter 1 of Her. Ooh. Persephone says, I fed the fur babies, took out the fur babies, put in a load of clothes in the wash, and got a few words. Amazing. And Eva is still doing the notion. Got some calendar progress. JL says, I was inspired by JC, so I now have A is for Alibi by Sue Grafton, and I read chapter 1.
Oh, it's so good. I love Sue Grafton books.
15 hours. Oh my gosh. That's a long time to be without power.
Wow, 15 hours.
I can't read, apparently. Yeah.
That is a long. Wow.
So, the question, to get some interesting ideas, I'm mining you guys for. Your ex is a mortal peril. What do you do? So.
Well, that depends on which ex we're talking about. So, I have 3.
Okay.
The most recent one actually, who might have actually hurt me the most. However, we are on decent terms. The one before that is the kid's father, and I mean, he gave me the best gift of my life, so I'm trying to remember that. And then the one before that, because we're gonna skip him, because the one before that was abusive, and I could care less if he was buried 6 feet under or maybe 10. You know, yeah. If I found out he was in mortal peril, I would probably help him. I'd push him down a little further.
Okay.
It sounds evil, but you know, when someone threatens to throw you out of a moving vehicle, you really don't care much about them. So, mm-mm. So I think we've covered my 3 X's. How about everybody else?
Here it says, attend the funeral? Not sure I'd know if they were in peril. And that says, bah, they can run for all I care, especially my ex-fiance for what she did to me. So I'm getting a lot of let them rot vibes here. The bestie who fed the ex to the Genosaurs brought her godsons, the female main character's twins, dinosaur-shaped teething cookies for their first birthday after she killed their father and promised the female main character she
Mama Maggie, this is supposed to be your real life ex.
Would be happy again someday. Nom nom, bite those dino cookies just like the dino is going to nom on daddy.
Real life ex, Mama Maggie. I'm curious about the real life ex. What would you do if they were in mortal peril?
Maggie said, oh, that's the one I just read. Nothing. Do nothing. Okay.
Well, yeah, which would probably ensure their death. Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry. That sounded very evil.
We ended amicably. So I'd help save his life if I was able. He could be a jerk, but his girlfriend seems to be okay, so I'd do it more for her and her grandchildren.
You're such a good person.
Well, I swore out a restraining order against my ex, so technically I'm not allowed near him. So I'll see the obituary in the paper. Okie dokie. Depends on the ex. Also depends on if he'd help anyone else in the same position. Like, I would not let someone drown or anything, you know?
Okay.
Yeah. Part 2. I will give her points for honesty, but that's not enough for redemption.
No, it's definitely not. Not enough at all.
Raise my hands above my head to the cheers of the Colosseum, but not like in that one Game of Thrones scene.
Oh, that scene.
Tell Miss Peril she could do better.
Oh, Eva.
I save them if it doesn't cost me my own life, and depending on the ex, they may never hear the end of it. Make them owe you. Hop onto a chat stream and tell you all about it.
Oh.
Let's see. I only have 2 exes, both from last century.
Not that old.
Scrolling. It was a long time. I slept a lot. It came on around 3 a.m. for the power. For some reason, Google Doc was being annoying and not letting me open my whip, so I started in on the next round of editing on the research project and fed the cat. Now to take my meds. Very nice. I read the first chapter of Social Creatures by Tara Isabel Burton.
Interesting.
I've lost power for 7 days before due to a windstorm. Woof.
Oh, wow. Wow. That's a long time to be without power.
About 400 homes lost it here during that storm. 80-mile-per-hour winds.
That's so terrible.
I used to fight with the intrusive thoughts of wishing for my ex's demise. You know what?
I don't
Mama really does do things.
I don't wish for the demise of anyone in particular, but, there are certain people I just wouldn't be sad about it. Let me help you.
Very
Super
down. Yeah. I would help save her. Yes, I am that queer who is still friends with all their exes.
Nothing wrong with that.
You've got my nomination for Saint.
Yeah.
The giggle is the best part. My answer is nothing nice.
Fair.
I'm no saint. It'd just be racked with guilt if I could do something and didn't. It's more about me than about him, to be honest.
Okay. So then, okay, yeah. Gotcha. Oh,
Stay safe, Maggie.
please.
It was in November, so all the cold perishables were just stuck outside.
Oh,
I used to daydream about what life would be like if my ex died. Now it doesn't matter so much. Our child is grown.
see, yeah, see, that's why I said that one. I don't necessarily wish anything too bad because gave me a child.
Okay, so in my story, the vampire Victor, his ex, is Satan himself. One of the reasons that he was with Satan is because Satan is outside of the sphere of influence of Victor's father. So it wouldn't be playing into his dad's nefarious plots.
Yeah.
And Satan was like, I want a short-term relationship because he can see that Victor has a string of fate. So he knows Victor is going to go find a soulmate eventually. So it's not going to be long-term. So he's like, might as well. So
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at Eva. I'm good.
So Satan gives Victor a position of power in the army and status and stuff.
It's a general, right?
It's a general.
Yeah.
And so
Greta! I'm sorry. I'm in the future.
So this whole they've parted ways when Victor could finally see that he had a soulmate. He could see the string of fate. So isn't it that amicable? Because Satan saw it the whole time and never mentioned it. But
does Victor still have feelings for Satan is the question.
That's the question.
It's in the bit of it I read, it seemed like he was struggling with the feelings he was worried he still has.
Yes.
It seemed like he was conflicted.
Yes. And so I'm trying to figure out how far is he going to go to save his ex when he's still trying to figure out this whole soulmate situation.
But he's only there at Satan's to actually help Hadrian, is he?
Mm-hmm. Well, to save himself and Hadrian. He's going there for info.
But now he has to save himself, Hadrian, and Satan.
And the ex, yeah.
Ooh. That presents a conundrum.
Mm-hmm.
Especially once Hadrian finds out.
I know.
Because
Hadrian doesn't even know they're soulmates yet.
Because my question, if I was Hadrian, is, well, how'd you get me help? Who did you go to get me help? Why did you go to your ex? What did you have to do for your ex to help me? I know what Victor did.
They're not in a relationship yet officially.
Whatever. They're soulmates. They know it.
Hadrian doesn't know they're soulmates yet.
He has feelings for him. Yeah. They have acted on their feelings.
This story is so messy. Oh my gosh.
Sometimes things are unspoken. They don't have to say, hey, we're in a relationship for the actions to be present.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah.
You've painted yourself into quite a corner.
Hello, Joanne. If only I were the one who could save someone. I'd like to think I'd go far enough to save them, even if I didn't like them. Sounds like great tension and drama. Oh, thank you.
I have to admit, I probably would be that person who, even if I didn't like you, I'd be like, for a second, I'm going to be honest and say for a second, I'd be like, I'll let your ass rot. But then I would probably turn and like 2 steps into me walking away to be like, I can't do that. I am not that person. And I probably would help them because that's just me. But I'm not going to lie and say I wouldn't at least think about it. You did me dirty. I don't got nothing for you.
Because, okay, here's the thing. If he doesn't save Satan, Victor's going to lose the last piece of his status he has left.
Mm-hmm. Because it's Satan's blood that's running through his, isn't it?
Okay. Yeah. So he would be null and void.
Like, Eva said morally gray is an option. Go all the way, Laura.
I hate cheating. I hate miscommunication. And like, what is happening?
Okay, you hate these things in your real life, but this is fiction, and we need drama.
Fiction, like
okay.
If you could have just had a conversation, and that would have saved me 50 chapters of pain, I'ma hurt something.
But then you'd have 50 chapters less of a book that you won't be able to. Like, you need the
I would have 50 chapters of happy days instead of like.
You don't write happy, Laura. You write horror and torture. I mean,
true.
Otherwise, you'd be writing happily ever after romances.
It's gonna be happily ever after book 3.
Eventually, after they get tortured and almost nearly to death, both of them separately.
Yeah. Let's see.
Oh.
My cheating ex got his karma. The woman he left me for and twins he raised turned out not to be his. And she divorced him and took the kids after 11 years when her ex got out of prison. Woo!
Oh, yeah. Karma is a bitch. Yes, that karma came for him.
So, morally gray. What do you think of when you think morally gray, JC?
I love morally gray characters. I love... I've said before that the only thing I hate is a villain that's just pure evil. I like someone who can be redeemed, someone who's just ambiguous. Like they're not all good, they're not all bad. They're great. I love morally great characters.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I don't know if I write them well. Hi. I don't know if I write morally gray very well, but Eva could tell me if I do.
Okay, here's the thing. He's gonna have to go save Hadrian, and then have Hadrian help him save his ex.
Okay. Hold on, wait. He's gonna say it again one more time.
Victor goes to save Hadrian.
And
then needs Hadrian's help to go save Satan, Victor's ex.
How are you gonna explain that to Hadrian? Nia, you see what she's put? Nia, do you see what she's putting our boys through?
Happy ever after is just an unfinished story. Oh no! See, morally gray can mean things like a kidnappee falls for their kidnapper and getting a happily ever after, or a fair.
Ooh, now I don't know about that morally gray. That's not the kind of morally gray I mean.
That's just that's a dark romance. Those are my.
That's a twisted psychotic romance.
Yeah. Great in fiction, where redemption is often seen as impossible, but it happens anyway. Or so that's how I see it. Yeah, hello.
You can't redeem yourself from kidnapping me. I'm not seeing how that's redeemable. It just doesn't seem redeemable to me. Oh,
fiction.
Nia said, "What did I walk in on?" Okay, so Laura has posed 2 questions related to exes.
Okay.
The first question.
Here's the thing. They have to have a threesome eventually.
No!
They do! It's part of
No! They already had their threesome with Niles. No! What are you doing to our boys?
So it will happen eventually, but I need to make it consensual. And so there's this whole messy side plot of saving him, and then the threesome, and then I don't even know.
Nia, her second question was about if your real life ex, was in a morally, it was a morally
Mortal peril.
mortal peril. What was the whole question? I forgot.
Your ex is
Yeah,
in mortal peril.
what
What
do
do you
you do?
do?
And this is in relation to our boys.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh. Shania said, but why do they have to? Not Nicole say I'll explain later. You just have to trust me. Trust me.
What
The
if the
threesome.
kidnapper was
Trust
forced
me.
to do it by Satan?
Trust me. The threesome is good for you. Really, really, Laura.
Hey, they need angel blood for a ritual, and he's like, "I will give you my fallen angel blood if I get in on it." Because he's manipulative still.
Convo about Satan and Victor's relationship right before the threesome.
Ah!
You get kidnapped by someone. Kidnapper is bad. I get you get kidnapped by someone who needs to use your blood for a ritual. Kidnapper is evil. But the ritual only needs a couple pints of your blood and it saves thousands of lives. Equals redeemable. Morally gray. I can't wait to read your stuff, Gwenna. I mean, I have read a bit of your Vela, but I need more. I need more, Gwenna. No pressure.
So the next sprint is a chunky 45.
Yes. I
And the
need dinner.
question is, any words of advice for knowing where to end each book in a continuous series?
I'm
Find
laughing.
another angel. Find one who will donate. Oh, hi, Glory.
Hello. Before Hadrian and Victor go off to save Satan, Victor says he'll explain everything later, but when everything has settled, not in the middle of a chaos.
Mm,
Red room back.
nope.
For the angst. Yes, Mia, for the angsty drama.
Nobody has finished my fantasy novel for beta reading yet, so I'm always open to that. Hey,
You have a
Kat.
hold up. Hi, Kat. Wait, you have a
Let me know if you
fantasy
want.
novel out for betas? I mean, it depends on what's your time frame that you want it back. Any words of advice for knowing where to end each book in a continuous series?
So
Um,
a series where each book leads into the next one.
right. I'm going to think on that one.
Yeah. So sprint in 3, 2, 1, go.
And yes, Gwenna, because you're going to be busy for a good 2 years. So I feel like I have time.
You say for a good 2 years.
Look, that mom life. It ain't what you think.
was the second sprint. It was a chunky boy. Hello, Nia.
Hi, Laura.
Nia!
Hello.
Hi!
Hello.
You live.
Yes, that's important. Oh, are we doing updates? Sorry.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I ate dinner while starting to actually read Gwenna's manuscript. So yeah.
Nice.
Awesome. And I got a shower and came in here and was about to look at my work, and then I went down the YouTube rabbit hole.
Oh no.
Nothing important either. I just was, you know how you see things and you're like, oh, and you just click, and then you're like, oh, wait, now the time's up.
You did not guilt trip me, Gwenna. I said I wasn't lying when I said I wanted to read your work. I mean, I figured I was eating dinner. You might as well start reading now. Oh, don't worry. It's not like I'm going to get far tonight. But I thought I'd start.
I ate popcorn.
Lost one.
Ate it.
Darn, I know
And
Ward was
Loki
waiting.
would have had that. if I was
pomegranate
there.
lemonade.
Ooh.
Yes, I love me a fruity lemonade.
Not pomegranate. Cranberry. Cranberry lemonade.
Cranberry. Ooh.
Well, equally, that's still good.
Yeah. And I had to do some research into the hierarchy of angels and try and pick one and name one and pick another one. And the hierarchies are different between religions. So it's like, which variation am I going with? Yeah. And then messing around because I decided I needed a seraphim.
Oh, nice.
I couldn't find any that are actually named anywhere.
Mhm.
So I had to name one. So I named one. Yeah. So that's fun.
Cool.
Wait. What?
I think she maybe the seraphim. Maybe, I don't know.
Seraphim.
No, I'm saying maybe she's saying she has pictures of the seraphim. I don't know. Because you said quite a few things. So I don't know which part she was
Oh, yeah.
referencing.
Yeah. Ah! It's a parrot!
Hi,
Hello, parrot! Tiffany! Molly sat down to get back to work. Got a very special delivery. Started making dinner, and hopefully I can get this done before way late tonight.
Oh, Laura Falula. Mm-hmm.
And so I didn't actually cry yet, but it's just a lot to do. Be warned, I have cherry coke! Oh no!
Uh-oh.
No, the hierarchy of angels. Okay.
Yeah.
Because it's different between Christianity and Judaism and Islam. Like the hierarchies they're not in the same order. So the cherry coke life chose you. Oh gosh. Hello, Lisa.
Hello.
Yeah. Scrolling back up. Jessica got 370 words in the 30 minutes they were here, which is fantabulous. And Hazelnut did the last drop off. So, hooray! Laura Falula, indeed. Okay. So, the question was, any words of advice on knowing where to end each book in a continuous series? Do you have any thoughts, JC?
Oh, only series I've ever been writing is the mystery one. And I don't do the cliffhangers on those because each book it's a different like mysteries, so to speak.
Yeah,
So it doesn't necessarily have to lead into the next one. The only thing that really ties them all together and makes it a series is the main character.
Right.
So and usually the mysteries are tied to her personally somehow, but I don't really know. I don't have any good advice. Is what I'm saying. Well, maybe reading series. I do like a bit of a cliffhanger, but not. I was about to say not so much that it makes me angry that I don't know what's coming next.
I feel
But
like
I've had Katie Wismer has done that in her Marionettes books. She ends each. Well, she had ended each one, and I'm like, no, wait, no, I need to know what's going to happen next. And it just so happened her next book wouldn't have been out yet, but it didn't make me mad per se. It just made me like know that I wanted her next book.
Mhm.
But I don't know what kind of cliffhanger would be appropriate for you. Sorry,
Because I did read the first book of a romance series that was like a continuous series, not
Mhm.
episodic. And so it made me mad because it wasn't a complete novel. It was like a novella that ended on a cliffhanger. I'm like, you barely got anything done and you're doing a cliffhanger. Like,
yeah. Okay, so here's the thing. As someone who almost exclusively writes in series, each book needs to have your overarching plot, but there can be a plot that goes on through the entire series. And so you want to conclude the plot for that book so they have a satisfying ending, but you can give them a cliffhanger, or if not a cliffhanger, something that's coming up next to look forward to that's going to be happening in the second book. And you kind of, if you're doing a romance, if it's labeled a romance, you want to give them some type of happily for now. Like, you can get the two people together either physically or it could be emotionally. Maybe they're not physically together yet, but they have some type of declaration that lets you know, okay, these two want to be together. Because maybe they're apart because it's over a 3 or 4 book series, and then you're gonna do that for the next book and the next book. But by the end, that happily for now really needs to be with them together happily for now. So you can kind of like trail it on, but you do need to conclude. I feel like you should conclude each book. Each book should be complete within itself, but not the complete story, leading into whatever the bigger overarching plot is of the series. Like the mini plots within the big plot needs to be happening. That's the way I do it. So, yeah.
it's nebulous and clear as mud.
No, but did you see the first comment? Because that went with the first one.
I mean, knowing where to end a book or story is like knowing where to end a relationship, romantic or friendship.
Yeah.
I see. The vibes is nebulous.
Yes.
Nebulousness. Yeah, I knew Nia was more expert in that.
I know some people do those where it's just a complete cliffhanger, and a lot of times it does leave you kind of unsatisfied because you don't feel like you're getting at least a whole story. You feel like you're getting a book that's been divided up into 3.
The one that I read that was a novella cliffhanger ended when the forced proximity was about to start. So they hadn't even gotten together yet in any capacity. I'm like,
but Nia, what would your, because like Laura's book is, it's going to be a trilogy. And so she knows she wants them together in the end. But like, what would you advise for each ending of like book 1 versus book 2?
Like, there's 3 steps to complete their soul bond. So each book will have a step completed.
Yeah.
But I have so many subplots, I don't know which ones to wrap up in which book.
Make sure you're wrapping it up. Try to wrap them up on the timeline. And if your timeline doesn't make sense, you need to fix it. Like things need to, like, if just because you want something to be solved in book 2, if it solves itself by the end of book 1, you have to decide, can you stretch that out? Does it make sense to stretch it out? Or are you letting it fall apart and drag on just so that you can have something for book 2?
Mm-hmm.
So, and you're the writer, so you have to decide that. Like, does this make sense to drag this out into part 2? And if it doesn't, can you make it make sense so that the reader doesn't the one when my son was young, because I knew he was going to be a big reader, so we got him the Aragon books, and he quickly surpassed the Aragon books, because what happens? He goes, the first book was good, but then by book, it just seemed like they were just going around in circles, just journeying. He's like, if you read them, you know what I'm talking about. And then he was ready for bigger, harder books. And then I'm like, well, okay, this one's my reader, But that's what sometimes happens. And he did try to drag this out. And he was a kid when he wrote Aragon. I think he was 13 or 16. I don't know. He was really young. Polini. Yeah. So understandable. He didn't have all his stuff down. That's fine. It's a great book to get a young boy into reading, because they know what they like. But that's an example of where it just dragged on, and you're like, why are we just wandering? Right. Like you're wandering after a while. You don't want to do that. You want to keep your audience engaged. You want to make sure that the journey makes sense, and that they're moving the plot along to get to the final thing. And you just want to break it up nicely so that it makes sense for each book. You want to have a nice conclusion, and even if you want to separate them, say that they're going to be apart in book 2, you could have them get together and have like some type of declarations of intentions, and then they have to say goodbye. And the reader's like, yes, they have the feelings. They've even admitted to the feelings. And there he goes. And he's waving to him as he leaves, and tears in their eye.
Adios.
And you want to reconnect because you're anxious to see them get through the thing that's separating them and get back together. And maybe at the end of book 2, they're actually back together, but now everything's falling apart. So even though they're together, they're running around trying to fix everything.
It's chaos.
Maybe there's tension now, and then you're like stressed out. If the reader is stressed out, like, oh no, there's so much stuff going on, and they ever going to actually get together? But you've gotten them together at the end of each book. You see? So you just want to keep it interesting. Make sure that the reader is still invested. They don't feel like they're just being strung around. Don't chop the story off in the middle and be like, wait, it feels like I should be reading the next chapter. Now I've got to wait 8 months or 2 years for the next book. That's a very unsatisfying.
Like, not only was it half of a story, but it was half of a story in length as well, is what got me.
Yeah.
And there you have it, everyone. Expert advice from our very own next bestseller, Envy James.
Yeah. Speaking of always writing series, nothing is finished.
Yet. Add that yet on there. And again, I'm going to need you to stop saying that, because you do have books finished, because you're editing them. You can't edit if it's not finished.
Sure, I'm editing them. Right.
Well, you're supposed to be.
Well, okay, yeah, I guess so.
I see you, Nia.
Jael did not have any advice. Their advice was
no.
I love that she answered nope.
Cliffhanger.
Nicole says cliffhanger. Eva says after that book's main plot point is complete, or just before the inciting incident of the next book's main plot.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Maggie said after the Cliffy of that book, but with enough questions or a scene that generates questions, which drag the reader to the next book by suggesting a beloved character or place is at risk.
Real quick, Laura. So you said each book they have a step to get through in order to get to the happily ever after part, right?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe at the end of each book, like they'll have completed each whatever step it was,
Yeah.
and they'll think that everything's good, everything's straight, everything's fine, and then right at the tail end of the book comes the next problem or the next phase is introduced. Like, okay, maybe I should ask, do they know that there's 3 steps?
Yes.
Like, I know you know that there's 3 steps, but
They
do
know.
they know?
Victor knows so far. Hadrian has no idea.
Oh, so that even works better. Well,
But Victor's going to tell him.
maybe he doesn't tell him.
No,
Maybe
he's not that evil.
No. I'm not saying don't tell him at all. I'm saying save him telling him till the beginning of book 2. Like, Hadrian thinks they're home free, home safe. You know, they're safe. Everything's over. They're all good. That's what Hadrian thinks. Victor knows otherwise. You end the book like maybe Victor says, there's something I kind of forgot to tell you. Something like that. I mean, obviously it's not worded like that, but alluding to something he didn't tell him. He wasn't honest with him about something. And then in the beginning of book 2, Hadrian finds out there's more to the story, which causes chaos between the two of them, and even more of a reason why, you know, they end up not being together in book 2.
So far, it starts off with Hadrian's main motivation subplot of saving his mother, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we have that arc going of, okay, we got to save Hadrian's mom. And then to save Hadrian's mom, we now have 3 different missions that are going on.
Right.
And that one mission with Victor is now getting its own subplot to save Satan. And
okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So, like, which ones do I wrap up in book 1?
You wrap up saving the mother. You wrap up saving Hadrian's mother. That's why Hadrian thinks everything's good. We're great. That's when Victor drops the bomb on him that, oh yeah, I kind of made a deal with Satan that we would help him save his soul. And then you go into book 2. And book 2 becomes about saving Satan.
Which leads into, you know, the Holy War for book 3.
Yeah. Okay, that could totally suck. But, you know, it's a thought. Yeah. But definitely wrap up saving Hadrian's mother in book 1. I don't think we want to carry that over to book 2.
Okay. That's going to make this book massive. Okay. Persephone said, give readers a decent split to answer story questions. Answer most but not all, especially if it's necessary to delay info in order to make the next book stand solidly on its own. And Eva, before she left, said, my own series, each book has a plot that resolves in the end, with each of those linking directly to the overarching plot that starts in book 1 and finishes the series in its own conclusion.
Yes.
Like a TV episode. Each book is an episode. The series is a season.
Yeah.
Doctor Who style, not Full House. Jessica said, honestly, I have no idea. I always have the overarching story written down and know where the ending is and whose POV and story it'll be in. Nice. And always on an emotionally fulfilling end of a character arc, but simultaneously on a cliffhanger with plot. If a plot cliffhanger makes it feel incomplete, then add an epilogue with the cliffhanger. Wynn is a genius. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Alice says, I would answer, but I have never written in a series before, though I don't feel comfortable answering with confidence. Hey,
Gwen, I have a question for you, even though you're in chat. Am I in reading your first chapter, I've chuckled a little. Is that a good or a bad thing? It's like, am I not supposed to chuckle? Is chuckling a bad thing? I don't know. No. Vibe you're going for.
Example to clarify my answer 3. In my first book, not the one I sent to JC, my female main character struggles with the question of whether or not she's so far removed from humanity that she may never find loved ones. By the end of the first book, her love interest dies in her arms, answering, "Yes, she is." But the plot was her leading a pack to post-apocalyptic survivors to safety. In the epilogue, they arrive only to find a mysterious figure from her past that comes seeking her out. Emotionally a tragedy, but a complete arc. She fulfilled her primary goal. Still a cliffhanger. Hope that helps. Yeah. Scrolling back.
Scrolly, scrolly, scroll. Scrolly, scrolly, scroll.
Okay.
Anna also validated that my idea was a good one, which gave me great comfort because I know Anna knows the story very well. So I'm like, if Anna says it's a good idea, I'm like, okay, good.
She's gonna rip your heart out. Oh no!
Yeah, because she said, good luck, Chasey. I was like, no, that's okay. I like books that make me feel visceral emotions. So I'm good.
Okay, let me pull up a 30-minute timer.
Oh, yeah, I guess we are here to sprint, aren't we? We're here to do the things. Nia, what are you working on tonight?
I'm going to go back to working on Project Dragon.
Yay!
Yeah.
So proud.
We're proud of you, Nia.
Woohoo!
Oh,
So-
that did not sound convincing or enthusiastic at all.
I'm workout tired.
I know. And you just showered, so
That's as much woohoo as I can muster.
I know.
So the next question during the sprint is, how many side quests is too many?
What do you mean too many?
Is there such thing as too many side quests in a
in a book?
In a book.
Okay. Not side projects, Nia. I do think there is a such thing as too many. How many? What number that is, I don't know.
When your readers start feeling like you're walking around in circles because you extended the quest into 4 books.
Yeah, that's a good one. Although I feel like you can get away with it a little better in fantasy though. I feel like you can. Maybe.
I did like your ending. The one from months ago. Yes, I have it written down in my document. But that was how Victor's. Oh wait, no, I'm thinking Hadrian's dad. I have what you have with Hadrian's dad written down. Did you write it in the chat? Oh gosh. In the end, it's like Victor and Hadrian kissing. The music swells. It's all romantic, and Victor's dad runs into like, no, stop this, no. Monty Python. Wait, what? And each book ends with a scene about Victor's dad.
Oh my God, Anna is just in love with Victor's dad.
No.
We don't. Anna, you might be the only one that actually likes Victor's dad. I hate to tell you that.
He's so ridiculously over the top evil.
He's so terrible.
Well, argue. Oh.
Okay.
Okay, so this is in a novel, not in a game, right?
Yes, in a novel.
So at some point, the quests have to stop.
There's already been a threesome in book 1, but it was with a human.
Oh, so yeah, save the threesome for book 2. Because
it would be in book 2.
Okay, because then they'll be on the quest to save Satan's whatever.
Yeah, it would be to
existence.
complete the second step of the soul bond, so that would be book 2.
Okay.
He's like a pantomime villain, which makes him such a fun character.
I love Anna's enthusiasm for the evil villain.
Okay. We shall sprint.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go. Alrighty. Well, welcome back. Welcome back.
Yes.
How you doing?
Okay.
Did Gwenna rip your heart out?
Oh no, I told you I read slow. I kind of dozed off actually a little bit, because I'm cold and as per the blanket. So, but I did wake up and read some more Gwen's first chapter. I'm still reading. I read slow. I warned you.
When I got 3 chapters done with annotations.
Oh, why not?
Nice.
What'd you get up to, Nia?
I got my workout. I how many words did I get? Not a lot of words. Maybe a page. How many words
Hold
is
up.
this?
Can I correct Gwenna? It's not. It wasn't anything in your book. I'm just as tired. That was all. It had nothing to do with anything I read. I hadn't even when the sprint started. I didn't go back to reading your book just yet. So it's not you. So there's nowhere to mark. Just want to clarify.
When it's like boring, my manuscript, not on my watch.
No,
Where did that happen?
no.
Yeah, no, I didn't think so. It sounded like you were just tired. You needed a quick rest.
And I just ate, so you know what happens when you just eat.
You take over the world? Is that what happens when you eat?
Yeah.
It's not a lie, Gwenna. I promise you, I would never. I wouldn't lie to you, Gwenna.
This got 350 words. Amazing.
Oh.
Oh yes, the itis.
Mm-hmm.
Tiffany finished dinner and watched a YouTube video. I skimmed through the rest of what I had drafted in the previous draft of this story. I remembered like none of it. I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, so much stuff going down. Totally forgot.
What it used to look like.
So I started doing a little bullet point outline of like, where does the rest of book 1 need to go? What do I need to incorporate? Like, oh my gosh.
Oh, I actually got 358 words. Wow. I did not feel like I got that many words, but that's
nice.
Good. Okay. I'll take it.
Lisa, I did good. Looked at jobs the whole time. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Hazelnut finished up chapter 1 of hers outline and started a new drop off.
Nice.
And Kelly watched a YouTube video and did some edits. Very cool. And the answers to the questions about side plots. Gwenna says, in a video game, the limit does not exist. In real life, the limit does not exist. In a book, kill the side plots. Those are for novellas. Yeah. You can make more money that way.
That's true.
In a book, definitely like 3 for me. Any more than that, and I usually lose interest.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. See, I think the side quests you've got at the moment should be enough. But then again, I'm not the one to write side quests. Okay. As long as I see the relevance of the side quests, do they impact the main objective? Then as many as you need. But if they're irrelevant to the plot and just added for fun, I'll get frustrated. Yep. I definitely see that.
Yep.
What JL said, in regards to my answer, please note I consider side quests to be emotionally fulfilling for side characters, but overall do not impact the overarching plot.
Yeah, they have any side plot. They have everything has to make sense to the overarching plot of the story. If it doesn't, it needs to go. It's hard for me to say, but yeah, make it a little. Write it for fun for yourself. Write it as something fun for your readers and fans. Give it away as a giveaway, or put it in your newsletter, or behind your paywall for your subscribers. If you feel like you want to write it, but don't jam up your novel with all the stuff that you don't need. But I don't believe in deleting things. So yeah, save it for something. Save it for something because it's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun.
I read up to chapter 5, and it says, like 3-ish side plots. Okay. Let's see. I will say I haven't met Eloise's mother yet, but I already don't think I'm gonna like her. Let's see. Just finished chapter 1's outline, like just now. Very cool, very cool. To the right, you'll meet her in chapter 3. And it says, in my only actual novel, I say that the main side plot is the romance, which is intrinsically connected to the characters as they go about the main plot.
Yep.
So yeah, I agree with them having to be connected to the main story in some way. For sure, for sure. I'm definitely going to need beta readers because I throw so many wrenches in these plans that the characters go like, okay, we got there.
Have you ever watched the show, and it's like a TV show series or something, and there's so many things going on that you start to wonder if some of them have anything to do with the plot, and then if you find out that they don't, you're like, that you feel like that was a wasted episode. Like, what was that episode about? Like, they just threw it in there. Don't do that.
Yeah.
To your novel, because literally we talk about that when we were like, we were watching it, it's all great, and then there's this random episode, we're like, what is this? Didn't have anything to do with anything, and I'm like, we feel like you wasted an episode. You're like, you could have showed us X, Y, and Z that actually has to do with the plot that's going on, but you're doing this random episode. That's what too many side plots does to your story. Like, you might like it, it might be interesting in its own, but when people are they're coming for the story, don't
realize I was muted. I was about to say, no, if it's good, I don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't necessarily care if it doesn't connect to the plot as long as it's good.
Okay. There you go. You got one.
But there is a such thing as too many subplots. I do believe that. I just don't necessarily think it's a bad thing. As long as they're good.
Sometimes they're not good, though. And then people talk about it. They're like, what was that?
But are we talking about a certain show, Leah? Because some people may think it's not good, but then other people may think it is good.
No, I'm usually very lenient, but I usually listen to what other people say, and I'm like, okay. I try to pay attention to see what people like and they don't like. Because I'm a person who could write tons and tons of side plots. I just save them for something else.
Yeah, that sentence gonna. I'm sorry.
And it says, but I think if the plot is character driven, then the side plot builds characterization / characters, and it's related to the plot. Let's see. You should describe his arms more. Oh my gosh. Anna! And collarbones.
A nice forearm and collarbone description.
Yeah. Y'all these collarbones.
Do we want to do one more or call it an evening? How are you guys feeling?
It's up to you. I'm going to go back to reading Gwenna's first chapter. I'm still in chapter 1, Gwenna. That should tell you how slow I read.
Okay. Hazelnut, one more.
Oh, Hazelnut be my partner in crime in 1 and 345s. Mm-hmm.
At the end of the book, you find out what happened to his sword arm. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Oh my gosh!
Uh-huh.
Gwen says she needs one more.
I need one more. I'm saying, okay, okay. I added a collarbone related Smexy scene to my old Nano novel because Gwenna mentioned them. I must read more. Okay. Let's cut it down a little bit. We're gonna do a 25.
Yes, Anna, I did get to the dad. I just met Eloise, and she was saying, I just don't think I'm gonna like Eloise's mother. That's all. We haven't met her yet, but
Arthur's dad and Big.
oh my gosh.
Alrighty.
Gwen
Yeah,
said,
funny.
Gwen said collarbones are the sexiest part of the human being, and I will go to my grave on this hill. Honestly, until I've discovered, until Anna's obsession with collarbones, never thought about anyone's collarbone ever. They might be. I mean, they might be. I just have never. I don't look at people like, "Ooh, your collarbone is sexy." It's just not.
What about
Now,
that?
when I look at, I mean, now a booty, I might look at it and be like, or that print in the front of his pants. But anyway, anyway, this is not the after dark portion of this evening. So
I once saw this guy on the bus. He had the most beautiful hands. Like, oh gosh, his hands were amazing, and his hair was gorgeous. And I was like, what the heck? What the heck, dude? You're like straight out of fiction. Anyway, and he was reading a book. It's like, what is this?
Okay, Laura, I seriously need to delve back into your timers. I don't remember this one. This is a rose, right?
Yeah.
I love roses. They're like roses and sunflowers are my favorite flower. And how do I not have this on my playlist? Oh, probably because this is 25 minutes.
Yeah, it's a 25.
But still, I can have it for our own personal playlist. Okay, anyway.
Oh my gosh. Booty is nice. Booty is great. Booty is secondary to the nibbles. You can get her a good
I never nibble.
Men.
I do not nibble on. Okay.
The last question during this sprint. What are you reading this August? Are there any literate men in them? Let me know. Let's begin in 3, 2, 1, go!
Woohoo!
that was the final sprint. We survived. We did it. Awesome sauce. So during that sprint, I continued with my outlining and looked up some plants. And yeah, reworked a name. And yeah, just trying to. I think I have a working outline for the rest of book 1 now. I think it works. It's got some closure and leads into the next one. So, hooray. What'd you get done, Nia?
I got another 298 words and still working on it. Trying to get the thoughts in my head on the document. And I'm tired, but I'm trying to do it.
Nice.
Yeah.
JC!
Huh?
What'd you do?
I'm reading Gwyneth. I'm still on chapter 1. I'm slow. But I started it and I want to finish it before I go back to working on my TV script. And that should say something, Gwyneth, because, I'm neglecting my work to finish reading chapter 1.
It's that good. Speaking of Gwenna, the Montessori baby, the Montessori toddler, what to expect when you're expecting. And then, after the baby is here, I'll beta read whatever anybody sends me for the funsies of it. That's what they are reading this August. Very nice. And Nicole says, working on reading Tiny Shivers and finishing JC's collection, If I Knew Then.
Wow.
JL says, well, I guess I'm reading Sue Grafton's alphabet books now.
It's good, isn't it? It's good, isn't it? And when you finish Sue Grafton, move on to J.D. Robb. Nora Roberts' writing is J.D. Robb. She has, her series, her in-depth series, it's like more than 50 books. They're good too. It's more of a futuristic mystery feel to it. If you're into that kind of thing, I don't know.
Jessica says, oh man, I'm struggling today. I made a map earlier for Project Gods because I couldn't get it out of my head. And now all I want to do is work on that. Curse your shiny new idea.
Mm-hmm.
I feel it. I feel it in my bones.
They do that to us.
And Alice says TBR 5 books. Nice. And we have a Michael. Hello. And Nicole, I don't know if you're still here, but there is this thing called the shy plant, Mimosa pudica. They're really cool. The ones that I saw when I was in Williamsburg, when you touch the leaves, they like fold and crumple. They're like, don't touch me. So I don't know if your character wants a shy plant, if they are shy themselves. I don't know. Could be fun. And Gwenna says, 2 more chapters down on page 48 out of 288 with 43 lines of notes. Yippee! So the question was, what are you reading this August? I guess we know what JC's reading now.
Well, I'm adding to what I was already reading.
Nice.
And right now I am reading book 4 in the Game of Thrones series, and I'm also reading what is it? Fourth Wing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's all I'm reading at the moment. There was another one. I'm also in the middle of another book. I'm actually almost done with it. I forget what it's called, which is trying to grab my things so I can take.
Jessica's TBR pile is staring at them.
So many books.
I have been reading manga, and
She read 4 of them yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I have this book that I'll
Ooh.
probably bring with me to Chicago. It's called Everything the Darkness Eats.
Ooh.
Look at that cover. So flipping cool.
That is cool. Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah. As insidious darkness threatens to devastate a rural New England village where occult forces are conjured, and when bigotry is left unrestrained.
Mm.
So that's what I'll be bringing to Chicago.
You're taking more than one, right? Because I feel like that you probably would read in a day or two.
But she's got a lot of things to do. People to see, places to go.
It is pretty
You
big.
can always make time to read.
Well, the question is, am I going to be writing as well?
Yeah.
True. Tis true.
Yes. It's a legume. Call it Touch Me Not. Arthur's just a sad boy with a lot of feelings. But don't worry, Chapter 2 answers Chapter 1's cliffhanger. Hello, 6. Welcome. We just finished. Yeah. I may also bring and read a Star Wars book.
Nice.
This is the New Jedi Order Dark Tide 1 Onslaught. So this is a legendary one. So this is old school Star Wars. So
I knew you had to be bringing more than one book. Because I know you.
like this one's text is much smaller.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's going to take you a bit more to read.
Yes, love me some Star Wars. Yeah, so this one is the New Republic. So it's Luke Skywalker era.
Mm-hmm. Very cool.
I'm not a nerd. La, 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 la. Love the Star Wars Expanded Universe. Heck yeah. Let's see. The shy planet sounds like such a mood. Ah, don't touch me. Curls away from human contact.
Yes.
Yes, the Star War.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. Well, thank you all so much for coming. It has been a blast. That is trash. There we go.
That kind of rhymed, by the way.
Yeah. You have been on my channel. I'm Laura Nettles. I'm mostly about horror and paranormal romance, and I'm here. So I'll be back next week on Thursday. This one was a takeover of Tiffany's, and then I will be gone the week after that. On vacation.
Having fun.
Yes, she's going to be having fun.
It's going to be great.
She's going to be having fun. Doesn't mean you won't be missed.
Yeah, you will be missed.
So yeah. I will see you guys around. JC is awesome. She's got books she can proofread on Ko-fi. Does all the good stuff. She just had her August goals video come out. And Nia is just fantabulous.
Aw.
Yeah. What's your next stream, Nia?
I think I'm streaming tomorrow morning around 11:30ish, and then next Tuesday on YouTube. So tomorrow it's on Twitch. So if anybody's looking, it's gonna be over on Twitch.
Yay! Now don't get my hopes up, Nia.
I won't. We should be good to go.
You're welcome, everybody, for the sprint. It's been great. Let me find the outro video. Found it. See ya.
Waving for Nia. Waving for
Yes,
Nia.